Hey, what is up everybody? It's the True Epic Gamer here, and we are back with what is essentially a part 2 of UFO 50. If you guys didn't watch my first video, I would highly recommend watching it first, just because a lot of things won't make sense if you don't, especially if you don't know anything about this game in particular. So what I want to start today doing is trying to get an item for our garden. Essentially what that is kind of like a little hub area where you can collect an item from each game. Each game has a specific challenge in order to get this item. So as you can see, I'm looking at the description of each game and I'm kind of just trying to figure out which one I think is going to be the easiest. You'll see in just a second, I end up going with the Magic Garden just because it seems like it'll be the easiest and the quickest to get, and we just want to see what the items in the garden are. So basically what we need to do in this Magic Garden game is we need to get 10 of these little pink things. They're called poppies, and we need to save 10 of them simultaneously. To be honest, it seemed pretty easy, and it honestly seemed like I was going to get it first try, especially when the star, you see we have to get them in the star line right there, that green and white star line. And we just need to carry 10 of them in there at the same time, and we have 10 currently, and I hit the wrong button. So, believe it or not, we would have got it first try, but instead I'm so dumb I hit the jump button, which I didn't even know you could jump in this game. Straight up didn't know that until now. So we go back and we try again. And so we run it again. And we run it again, of course. And again. And at this point, I'm really frustrated because we were going to get it first try. The good old soul's like, we hit the jump button. We tried the jump for once. Doesn't work. We get 9, of course. This looks promising. You're kidding me. Wait. We died, but we got the 10. We got the 10, boys. The death does not affect us whatsoever. We go back. It has a little check mark. Gave watering can. So I'm like, okay, I guess that means I've got it. You know, we got the little check mark. Let's go check out the garden. And it's a watering can. That's literally it. It's just a watering can. It's just there. I tried to see if I could do something, interact or something, but it's just there. Which, you know, it might do something later once you get more items. But nonetheless, mission accomplished. We got our first piece for the garden. 49 more to go, boys. So I decided to switch on over to Mortal, a much more enjoyable game. And the most important thing to notice here that I learned, if you look at this menu right here, the levels, they actually save, but they also save how many lives you had left. So essentially, you need to go back and optimize in earlier levels. So like I'm going to go redo level 1 and get it down to as few lives sacrificed as I can. That way level 2 will have more lives starting off. And that's really, I really didn't do any, I didn't go back and do that yet. I just noticed that this time that I played. I did end up going through and beating the level, but I'm definitely going to have to go back and optimize because I'm just running out of lives on like level 3 essentially. But yeah, nothing to write home about too much on this game today. I barely played it, but that's the biggest thing that I noticed for sure. So I did decide to give Ninpek one more shot. If you guys watched my video yesterday, you know that this was the most brutal out of all the games that I played so far. And I'm going to be honest, guys, didn't go any better than any of the other times. As you're looking in the background, my lives are vanishing right in front of your eyes. And that is it, boys. We are toast. Moving on. Barbuta is the next game of our day, and if you guys watched my other video, you know that this is one of my favorites in the game so far. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward you guys. I don't want to waste your time. Our guy walks kind of slow, and it is a long way to anywhere. So, if you guys remember this spike trap, I thought maybe I could make it, but to be honest, I'm still convinced there's some item I'm missing. We didn't quite make it. It did seem possible, but I didn't want to sit there and waste all my lives. So, moving forward, you guys remember this little secret path. We found this. We got what I'm going to call the power bracelet because that's what it looks like. And I thought maybe it would allow me to do something with some of these pink blocks. Pink bracelet, pink blocks. Makes sense, right? But I couldn't seem to get anything to work, at least not in this room. Moving on. Now we're going to make our way all the way back to the beginning. We're going to attempt to jump over this switch, but of course we're going to get crushed by this block again for the 1000th time. But anyway, pink blocks. If you guys remember from the first video, they were here, and now all of a sudden they're an elevator. So it would appear that this pink bracelet activates this elevator. So we at least figured something out. Let's see what's up top. Seems pretty cool. Seems like a boss coming up, possibly. Something crazy. Just an absolute death room. That's what awaits us. And as you guys can see, it looks like we need some sort of key. But I was going to make an attempt to get over there anyway. But I'm going to have to admit, it's a sad attempt. I did eventually realize that if I got on that second platform, then it wouldn't crush me. But I just didn't make it in time. And I'm honestly pretty convinced we're going to get an item that speeds our character up at some point. But moving on from that, I'm going to show you guys a few other things I found while exploring. Makes sense. There's some blocks with skulls on them. If you touch them, they kill you. These bubbles, I haven't quite figured them out yet. Just honestly not sure what they do. I'm sure there's an item in the game that we're missing. Other than that, I did find another NPC in the game, and it appears to be a shop. Now, we have found $50 before, so we could potentially buy trash, literal trash. I have no idea what it's going to mean, but I'm sure it's useful considering it's the only thing I think we've been able to find is that $50, so I'm sure we need it for something. Now, as I was continuing on, going back to all these other little games that I have already played, I realized that I was going to end up making an entire video without showing you guys another game, and I decided we could not do that, so we went to the 7th game on the list. I believe it's pronounced Velgress? Velgress? We're going to go with Velgress. Somewhere deep in space, the pirate Alpha was captured by the demon princess Charkas and thrown into the deep pit known as Velgress. No one has ever returned from Velgress alive, for it is filled with many deadly traps and monsters, but thankfully Alpha has survived the long fall and recovered her blaster. We get an epic opening, and it's time to climb. Now let me just tell you guys, this game is extremely fast paced. You'll notice that the spikes, they move up when I move up, so that's not necessarily rushing you, it doesn't move on its own. But all the floor that you stand on, it just vanishes from underneath you. This game really reminds me a lot of the old Metroid games. It has that similar, verticality to it, especially with the climbing mechanic, and it honestly kind of looks like it as well. But like I said, with the floor falling out from under you, this was extremely difficult and extremely fast paced. I was using a keyboard, and honestly, I think it might have been a lot easier for me personally if I plugged a controller in. Just because you'll see in a moment that I eventually realized I could shoot up, because a lot of times there was platforms blocking me from going up, and I would try and shoot up, but by the time I would destroy the platform above me, I would just be dead because the platform underneath me has already collapsed. But this seemed like another really difficult game, but I did have a lot of fun with it, and I think next time I'm definitely going to try and plug a controller into it. I didn't notice any way to see your high score or anything like that. I didn't get far enough to see what the coins are for. I did try and see if there was a menu, but it didn't seem like there was any menu or any high scores. Another cool thing is that this game was random generated, and it actually mentions that in the description that it was this developer's first game ever that had random generation, so that's pretty cool. And whenever you would reach a new floor, you see it says the floor is on the left there. You got 1, 2, you're about to be on the 3rd floor. And it would tell you when you reached a new floor, so you knew when you got a new record. And it would also show you where you died if you just past that. But all in all, really fun, really fast paced, really difficult game. And that's pretty much all the commentary I got for you guys today. I'll let this gameplay play out for a little while. You guys can see some unaltered gameplay of me just getting absolutely smashed in this game. Make sure you guys drop a like on this video, subscribe if you like this content, and like I said guys, let me know exactly what you want to see. Do you want to see more new games on this UFO 50, or is there something on one of the games I've already played that you guys really want to see? Let me know in the comments down below, and as always, peace.